I just think of weeds. What's that thing
Welcome
between the dick and the
to
asshole?
the
On the
Undrafted
coffee table.
Uncensored cast of pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanger. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Are we going? It's playing. The intro's done, Nick.
I can't hear it. Honestly, I cannot hear it. I heard
now
nothing.
You're all delayed.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
weird.
welcome into Undrafted Uncensored. Now Instagram's going live, so hey, we're good now, I guess. Welcome to Undrafted Uncensored, where our acting is at least better than LeBron's.
No, it's not.
You know, here we are not acting. Oh, it very much so is.
I don't know if you should really say that your acting is better than LeBron's right now, because the way that your voice dubbing is working with your video, it's not that good at this moment in time.
I think it's
That's
great.
not
It's
my
kind of like
acting.
the movie Kung Pao.
That's computer. That's the technology. That's not the person.
You know, sometimes you got to blame the technology for the voice dubbing also there, Nick.
No.
He's back. All right, we're live. We're good. He's back on time. It's always
Guess who's back?
It's always starting the Instagram. We love you, Instagram. But man, what a pain in the butt it is to get it started and have everyone watching via.
I mean, we wouldn't do it if we didn't love you.
It just slows everything down. Even Nick's brand new computer that doesn't make noises while he types anymore.
You didn't hear that earlier?
That when I hear it.
Finally?
I don't
think I type on my phone now.
I
don't like the sound of your computer.
You can. It's
honestly, I miss it. Like, it was a staple of the show. I think Nick needs to go out and buy one of those 90s keyboards that's just like clickety-clacky. Don't even like plug it in. Just fucking hit it. Just to mess with Colin every once in a while.
Someone the other day that like clacks when you type. It's got different.
Oh, dude, those are the best. Yeah, my dad used to have one hooked up to his laptop for years. That thing just never died. So it's best.
Yeah. See, I thought about it, but I'm nice. I'm considerate.
Well, welcome to being caught up, Nick.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to be evenly matched now. You know,
yes,
right in there.
Yes. Good to have you here. Good to have you here.
I still say our acting's better than LeBron's, but you know.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was to say, have you seen? Colin clearly has not seen Space Jam 2. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, speaking of Space Jam 2, I need you guys to do me a favor, okay, before we go on any further. So the Looney Tunes are releasing a new movie on Friday. The Day the Earth Exploded, I believe, is the name of the movie. It's a Porky and Daffy movie. Please go see it in the theater. All I ask is go see it in the theater, maybe twice. Because if this movie makes money, they will finally release Coyote versus Acme.
Okay.
And that is important because Coyote versus Acme is supposed to be hilarious.
I just want to see that. I love Wile E. Coyote. He's my favorite Looney Tune.
Well, Warner Brothers shelved it. And so they went back.
They got to make sure that this could make money.
Revisited making or releasing it. So now if Porky and Daffy make money. If they make movie, we would get money.
Porky and Daffy make a movie.
If they make money on this movie, then Warner Brothers will highly reconsider finally releasing Coyote versus Acme.
Or say it like Ivan Drago. Porky and Daffy make movie.
You know, I got a pretty full week as usual. It's the final weekend of it's the college tournament right now, so we got the NCHC playoffs. So I possibly have 3 games of DU hockey this weekend, which would spread some things out. Hopefully DU can just sweep CC once again because the Tigers suck and the Pios rock. That will take up most of my nights, and then I'll have to see if Megan would want to go to a late night showing of the movie.
Oh, I'm gonna go Friday morning. I don't care. I'll wake up early and go.
Yeah, I'm working both Friday and Saturday morning. I got a busy weekend.
Yeah, I'm busy for the next 2
as
weeks.
cool as Saturday morning cartoon sounds, I do work Saturday morning.
I bet Saturday morning is full of who woke up and watched Saturday morning cartoons. A little throwback. Wearing pajamas, going out to watch the movie at like
bowl of cereal,
10 a.m. Right? So, yeah, bowl of cereal. Bringing a jug of milk like an Anchorman Ron Burgundy carrying around the milk.
No, I'm picturing like a whole kit. Like you get your girl to bring in like a big ass purse, and you pull out like the tiny lunch carton of milk, and your little bowl, and like a little thing of cereal, and you just got
the
your
little boxes that they used to make.
Oh
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just pull it out of like one little fucking Tupperware container. It's all right there. You can even have a little like ice pack, like your old lunchbox. Just put it in a lunchbox. Now that I think about it, I want a lunchbox.
Joe, you probably don't remember this, Joe, but those used to open up and be your cereal bowls, the little cardboard pouches, which would not be allowed today at all.
No.
The little cartons.
Like you would pop it open, the little cardboard mini box of cereal, and then pour your cereal in and pour your milk in, and that's what you would eat out of. I don't know if you remember that, Nick.
Oh
no, we had the actual boxes that you had to pour into a bowl.
Yeah, it was just a cardboard box. It was not going to hold milk.
Yeah,
unless you're talking about the little like white plastic containers.
We had those too, but they had the containers at one point that were like the cardboard ones. Like they were not cardboard, but they were different material, and so you would pour your cereal in and eat out of it, and
I love it.
It was your on the go thing. But I was gonna say we could totally adult it. We get the plastic ones, which they have now, and fill up the flasks with milk.
There you go.
So your flask is that, you just bring back all the kid things.
You bring two flasks, one for your milk, one for your apple juice.
The apple juice. You gotta have apple juice.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have some sort of juice. Orange juice and cereal don't go together. The milk. Not a good mixture. Definitely not a good decision, as Ron Burgundy.
I think the juice is just for later in the movie, because I don't think juice and cereal really go together at all.
They work.
Yeah.
It's apple juice. Well, I guess it's really only apple juice.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, like pineapple juice. You can't get anything too acidic or anything like that.
Nah.
It's very important children's cuisine here, folks.
Well, we're elevating it.
Next week we talk Uncrustables.
It, Joe. That's the whole thing. We're adulting it.
There's no elevating on Uncrustable, dude. Uncrustable's the top tier right there.
I need to make a batch.
What do you mean? You like drizzle some honey on top? You can absolutely elevate an Uncrustable. You could throw it in a toaster oven. There's things you can do, Nick. There's always ways to elevate.
You're not supposed to toast those.
Nope, but
you absolutely can.
You can deep fry them, and they are phenomenal.
There you go.
Yeah,
I've done that at work a few times.
Do you not want it to be like that little crispy, crunchy? Come on, dude.
Oh man, it's molten though. You gotta let it sit for a good 3 minutes after it's out of the fire because
I'm sure
hot, but it is so damn good.
Like a hot pocket
fried
the second the
Uncrustable.
microwave's done.
Yeah, it's worse than a hot pocket or a 7-Eleven burrito where you get just molten hot and then icy cold. It's all hot and it just runs out.
Oh yeah. Oh man, speaking of running out, Nuggets ran out against OKC 2 nights ago, and they finally showed that they can beat OKC, and OKC finally showed that they could be beat. I got a little worried at first because Nuggets took a lead, and I mean, we remember what happened on Sunday. They took a lead, and then they pissed it away, and just never could come back. And then, of course, the SGA talks now. The SGA is the MVP until Joker goes off again, and now Joker's MVP again.
One thing with this that you can't the Nuggets the series is split. It's 2-2 this year.
Yeah,
and that last game was also without Aaron Gordon, so that's kind of a big deal for the squad and for them to come out and win. Peyton Swatson came out and had I believe it was 3 straight swats.
Yeah,
I know it was 2 in a row. I think he missed what should have been a dunk. in one series and ruined the highlight there. But he did a great job filling in. The Nuggets, ran away with it. It's both of these games. The final scores don't really indicate how close the game was.
No,
because the Nuggets and the Thunder were close in the fourth quarter in both games, and Nuggets were within a bucket in the game they lost, and then they obviously blew them out and being like an 18-point victory, I think it was.
Yeah, they went like 16-2 on the final run when the Thunder threw in their bench guys.
Yeah, so when you're going with
the Thunder's lost by double digits all year.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. When you're going with the Jokic SGA, you can't go head to head anymore. I mean, it's a split. So when I sit here and look at it, it's Nikola Jokic is still breaking records. Records or creating records, things we didn't even think of. It's like, oh, who's going to get the next 30, 20, 20? Oh, wait, it's never been done. Okay,
no one.
Jokic.
Yeah.
Michael Malone said it best really after in his press conference where he said, you're not watching basketball. Like you don't know basketball if you don't know that this is the best player in the world right now.
Exactly.
The only reason why he's not going to get it possibly is voter fatigue. And they already did that with Joel Embiid. And, maybe it's the curse of the in-between Jokic MVPs. And SGA is going to go down if he wins it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, man, if people were that, like, you know what? Fuck it. Give it to him. You know what? Because the last time Jokic didn't win an MVP, he won a finals MVP, and we won a championship. So at the end of the day, like, if the actual voters are dumb enough to give, and I'm saying this now, SGA could go on some historic fucking run and make me look stupid, which isn't hard. But if they're dumb enough to actually put in somebody else just because of fatigue, like people weren't voting in other guys besides Larry Bird when he was winning MVPs as the MVP. Like he won, was it 3 in a row because he was the best? Like that's it. And it's the head-to-head thing. It's not really fair to either guy because in the game that the Thunder won, Aaron Gordon was out in like the first quarter. And Peyton Watson barely played in that first game too.
Well, Joker got hurt
they barely
too.
had anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. He got hurt in the first and didn't make another shot. He played through it, but he didn't make a shot until the third, in between falling on his elbow and the third quarter. And then in the game the Nuggets won, Jalen Williams goes down and doesn't play. And he's the second best player on the Thunder. So it's not super fair to either guy in those games, which is fine. Because at the end of the day, Shea doesn't have a 30-20-20 game. Shea doesn't have the plus minus that Jokic has. Shea doesn't have the dominance in multiple statistical categories that Jokic does. Like he's got it in a few, and he's probably higher in scoring, but that's it. That's not enough.
Well,
when you've got top 5 or top 3, I believe, in points, rebounds, and assists, at least top 5, and then also being top 5 in steals and top 5, I want to say in 3-point percentage is insane.
But yeah, I mean, when you're talking about those things, let's not pretend like these people who are voting on this are watching the Nuggets Thunder games.
Well, they have been the past few years because they keep voting in.
There's a reason why Embiid won it over Jokic because they weren't watching the Nuggets nearly as much as they were watching an Embiid game. And so, yeah, like, will it be watched? But are they going to dig in that much to say, oh, well, Jalen Williams went out. Oh, Aaron Gordon went out. They're going to look at it. It basically makes it a wash. If it was 3-1 Jokic or 3-1 SGA, it would be, oh, well, obviously they won the head-to-head. That's literally what you're going to hear from these voters and all these other, talking heads on the different networks is, well, if it was that 3-1 advantage. Because you also heard it when Jokic lost or didn't win the MVP because they lost in Philly, and all they knew was that, well, Embiid didn't play in Denver, but when Embiid was playing, he beat Jokic. Like literally, that's what they said. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if Michael MPJ was out hurt or anything else that was going on. KCP being injured. Like it didn't matter that stuff. It was just, oh well, they won the head-to-head. That's the basis foundation. We all know from these voters that they're not paying attention to these games as in depth as we are, obviously, and it's hard to fault them in a way for not paying attention, even though they should be to one of the best players in the history of the game. You should be watching multiple of his games, especially when who else do you have? Like, who's the next face after LeBron goes of the NBA? You got to find someone to promote. You got SGA.
Yeah.
You got Jokic. You're not going to put Embiid out there because, well, he's not out there anyways. No. You probably have Giannis.
It should be Anthony Edwards.
Is Luka going to be it?
Wemby?
I don't know. Wemby, yeah, but Wemby now is gone for the season. So
that's true.
When you're looking at guys who are playing all the time, it's the guys who are out there most who are kind of there's also you thought some of the Minnesota guys could be it. Maybe it's Cat out of New York, but what are they watching at the other time slots? And they're going to just look at those basic stats in the foundation. We've seen it over and over again.
Well, that's also 1 year out of the past 4 where Jokic won it the other times. So that 1 year, I feel like the outlier was the racism argument, the whole Kendrick Perkins calling out the only guys to win MVP averaging less than 25 points were white dudes. And that got a lot of people that made the argument weird. And that's what is kind of getting referenced a lot with this same MVP race now, is that it just feels weird. It's not getting to a racial point, which is great, because I think that was sickening. Yeah. And that should not come into it at all. But that's what really it felt like it came down to, was just it felt like it was racist to vote for Jokic because of all this. And that's I blame Kendrick Perkins putting that out there, but then you started to see the shift. You started to see the JJ Redicks of the world, who's one of the big media guys at the time, start to shift from Jokic to Embiid for that season, even though he wasn't really outplaying Jokic. But it was the best season Embiid's ever had, maybe ever will have, probably ever will have.
Reddick didn't switch.
So
Reddick was the one who called out Perkins, but yes, there were other.
No, but he did go for Embiid, I feel like. Maybe he was a Jokic guy. He disagreed with the idea, with the reasons why Perkins was an Embiid guy. But a lot of people still switched over to Embiid that year. And it felt weird, and I don't think we're going to get that this year. I think, or maybe that's a lot of underlying reasons people don't want to say. But it has to be Jokic. There's no one that is more important to their team than Jokic. Granted, OKC is deeper. So without Shea, they would be a better team. The Nuggets would be without Jokic. But he's so good. He's having the best year of his career, and he's had multiple MVPs. Every year it gets better. Shea may be having a better year than last year, but not to that level. That I'm sorry. And Shea is young enough, he might get one, but dude, it's Nikola.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say with that Jokic Embiid year. He still had a better year than his previous year, and beat out Embiid in all the statistical categories. But yes, then the reasons why they were pointing to were those basic things, and it became more of a talking point. But it was okay, our focus is on Embiid beat Jokic. Okay, you beat him. That was all right. Well, that was their head-to-head. The other thing that they went with. So now they don't have that to go with, that other thing to stand on. That's basically the foundation of what I was going with, is that now it's a wash. Now you're looking at purely stats and what a team does. Has, the Nuggets being a 2-3 seed, because I think it's going to be obviously very difficult, basically impossible to catch the Thunder. Is that good enough for him? SGA, he's led the Thunder to back-to-back number 1 seeds, most likely. So
probably
could SGA go haywire at the end of the season and change some things? Of course, because we also got to remember that the votes aren't in yet, and what Jokic has done over the season, and even what he did last weekend, might not ring as strong if SGA goes out and finishes with 4 straight triple doubles. Which isn't going to happen for him, but
how often does he even get triple doubles? That'd be really fucking impressive, because he doesn't get a lot of triple doubles. No, Shea starts getting triple doubles. You know what? Maybe we should look at him for MVP.
And look at where the Nuggets were too, compared to now sitting in the number 2 spot, number 2 in the West. Now, I mean, Joker helped them climb that ladder. We were content with 4. And then we were like, okay, we can handle the 3 spot. Now the Nuggets are in the 2 spot. So that means they're going to be on opposite ends of the bracket now from OKC, which is beautiful. That's what I would rather have. I'd rather have that matchup in the Western Conference Finals than in the second or first round. So I mean, you look at what Joker's been able to do with, like you said, carrying this team and moving them up in the standings too, to the point where a lot of us are breathing easier now, because not that the Nuggets can't beat OKC, but you don't want a dogfight in the first or second round. You want to get to the Western Conference Finals and have that dogfight and show the world why you're the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, you want the Spurs without Wemby in the first round to somehow make it.
Yes.
The De'Aaron
You
Fox
do.
Spurs. I love that. Yeah.
Like that's what you're really, I mean, honestly hoping for.
You want
because
them to win
the Suns right now are on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
They're dropping you. Obviously, the overtime
I'll
game with that stat line was Jokic's 30-20-20, but you don't want to face the Suns in a series again. Not just
yes, I do.
They're just scarier than a Wembanyama-less Spurs team.
Technically, yes, but no, I want both. Can we somehow take a fight? Yeah, I want to fight both of them in the first round, like it's a karate tournament, you know?
It's a 2-on-1.
Let's go.
I don't know. The Nuggets control their destiny now. They're in that 2 spot. They're a game up on the Lakers. They just have to maintain the course and, just know the Lakers are still there in their mirror. And, we've all seen a little bit of improvement with them picking up Luka. So, just stay the course and don't let anybody get in your head.
And the Nuggets have one more left against the Lakers, I think. I'm looking right now.
Yes,
next week, isn't
Friday.
it?
Oh, no, 2 more.
Oh, 2 more?
Was it
Okay,
2?
so one's
The
on Friday. My buddy's
the
going.
14th and then the 19th, they go out to La La Land.
So this Friday and next Friday. Or no, this Friday and next Thursday.
This Friday, next Wednesday, yeah.
I think you said the 19th.
I did.
Yeah, 7 + 4 is 21, dummy. Or 17. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know math.
7 + 4 is 21, folks.
Yeah, I know math.
I was told there'd be no math.
Okay, Nick. I'll just do this for everybody else.
No, you're right.
Wednesday, March 19th. Friday, March 14th.
See, Pete? Well, there it is, right there. I told you.
Yep, Nick was right the whole time.
Yeah, I was right the whole time. Next Friday, and then again next Wednesday. See?
Yeah. Unlike Nick,
this Friday,
Nick was
this Friday.
Right.
Let's just get this straight. They're playing them this Friday, and then next Wednesday.
Yeah. See, that's what I said.
Totally.
You said next Friday, and then the next Wednesday. All right, time for the Avs.
Technically, he said a bunch of things. One of them was
since
probably
Nick isn't winning. Let's talk about a team that is winning.
Well, the Avs did not win last night. They lost a little bit of a heartbreaker in the shootout. I mean, they came off 6 straight at home. We were saying we'd be happy if they took 4 at home, and they went and swept through the whole homestand, which was perfect. They needed that. They're in the 3 spot now. They're out of the wild card for now. And I mean, you get upset that you lose 1 to Minnie. It's on a back-to-back. You had to fly into Minnesota, get there at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not that that's an excuse, but again, you're coming off a 6-game homestand, and you fly out to Minnesota after you just walloped your last 2 opponents. It's going to happen.
Well, you walloped your last 5 opponents.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is the team that's still trying to come together, which is looking beautiful. I mean, they had EJ out the other night. EJ looks like he hasn't been gone from the team for 3 years.
Fly, Condor, fly!
And the fact that Bednar has his pick of the litter now. He can just set his lineup up based on his opponent way better than he was before. Some of these guys understand they're not going to play every game, but, you can set some matchups. And again, they got bigger and they got tougher. And this team is going to march their way through that postseason.
I mean, they should. And you're right. I mean, EJ being out there, it's an extra burst of energy.
He's happy to be
I
home.
don't think he ever really wanted to leave. Yeah.
No, he didn't.
I don't think he ever wanted to leave. I think we all knew that, but the Avs also couldn't afford to keep him with where they were at in their roster and the guys that they had, because you got to remember they did have players like Byram and who were up and coming, but then you make these trades and you're looking for a guy who can help with the new guys, kind of teach them their way. That's going to be respected in the locker room, because you don't have Gabe Landeskog out there, and he's respected. I mean, he was the number one pick for a reason as a defenseman, because he's damn good. And so having him out there, is it going to be every other night? Is it, is he going to play multiple nights in a row? I think you just kind of take it easy with him. But on, a night where it's like a back-to-back and you're trying to get the feeling for how things work with each other, it's important to have the leadership out there. And one thing, when you were talking about the back-to-back and the guys getting in late, that's a chemistry thing. Because a lot of times when you travel with a team and the guys that you're playing that are playing alongside you, like how they respond to doubleheader games, back-to-backs, day-night doubleheaders, kind of what to expect or where to look out for the speed bumps. And these guys don't know that about each other. They don't know that, for example, Nate's passing. Let's just talk about Nate's passing. He doesn't know if Lindgren is typically
Nate's
half
alive.
a skate slower. Yes, Nate's passing. Okay, so we'll talk about his apples, and we'll talk about his apples that he dishes out in the games.
His passing ability.
But yeah, when you're talking about Nate passing the puck, like he might not know and have the feel that a game after, the second game of a back-to-back, that Lindgren is usually a half a skate slower, on the break. That Natchez, will typically take, you just don't have the same chemistry. Like,
not there yet.
Even playing in baseball, like for your pitchers, if they're dealing on their last game, or you just would need to get them back out there, sometimes you just swing. Like, you have a lead and they're not going to lose the game. You don't want your pitcher sitting in that dugout at all. And sometimes you want to give them the extra rest, and you sit there and you take all the pitches. I mean, sometimes you don't even swing. You just let them strike you out, basically. You swing at strike 3 if it's coming, but you try and take as many pitches as possible and take as many breaks in the box. And you know that about the guys that you're playing with. So I think that's kind of a growing pain, because I think they could have beaten Minnesota. They should have beaten Minnesota, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Last night. But
I hit those a few times too. Again.
That's just the sign of a squad who doesn't know each other very well yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're 3 games into this after the trade. And so, excuse me, it's going to take a little more than, give them a good week together and they can start figuring out pretty quick. They're not going to be, that full-time squad, but they're going to get to that point. Playoffs are, looming close. So it's just a matter of getting your team together.
Just one question, Nick. By a week, do you mean by next Friday or next Wednesday?
Yes. I can math, damn it. Today's Wednesday. It's a week from today.
Well, see, next Wednesday, we're going to go see a screening of the film next Friday.
The 19th or the 21st?
What about the Friday after next?
We're going to go see it on February 30th.
I hate you both.
No, we're not.
I hate you both.
The Avs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just saying, the Avs games coming up, these next 2 are huge for them, especially the Flames and seeing Kadri. Calgary is always they're a tough team to play, and they respect the Avs. I still think that they're actually more fearful of the Avs, but they still play hard. Ever since their coach came out and said, man, I feel bad for whoever has to play them in the first round. You might as well not show up, because they're going to get swept. And then it's Calgary, and sure enough, they get swept. But the game after, a highly emotional game, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche. It's Mikko's return to the ball, the sack, whatever. It's his return. There's going to be a lot of emotions, obviously, on both sides. They obviously have Duchesne, who always loves to kick the Avs' ass. And you got to wonder how much anger is on the Avs side because of the fact that he signed for, $250,000 more than what the Avs offered him. And that he wouldn't accept it, and now he's playing with Dallas, who has been a thorn in the Avs side for years, it feels like. So those two upcoming are tough, and then it's a roadie. They got a 3-game road trip up in Canada. So the next 5 are pretty huge before the Avs get to come home and have a break. You got it. The Stars game is going to be the toughest game out of that set of 5. I know Calgary is good. I know Toronto. Ottawa is not that good. Toronto and
one of
the
those
Canadians.
Yeah.
No, Toronto's good. The Canadians and the Senators are not that good. But Calgary.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, really, the next 3. But when you're talking about a road trip, you include those last 2 in there. Okay. Those are your big games, and if you can, I don't want to say if you can stay 2-1 in that, you're good. I think the Stars game at home, it's going to be difficult. The crowd should be on fire, except it's a 1:30 matinee game, and that's flip a coin to see if you're going to have an energized crowd or not on a Sunday afternoon.
I feel like it's Texas. They'll figure it out.
And I think with the return of
it's here.
Oh, it's here. Oh, we got this.
It's here.
Let's go.
I was saying it's Mikko's return to Denver.
Yeah, Mikko's coming back to Ball Arena for the first time, and I think that crowd, the first 5 minutes are going to show you how pumped that crowd is. The question becomes, do they boo or do they cheer? Because there's still some animosity towards him.
I think it's going to be straight 50-50.
I think they cheer now, and in the playoffs they boo. But also, doesn't it just feel like a fucking Mighty Ducks plot line, or like Air Bud, the hockey one, where your guy that you guys still love, but somehow gets traded away, and now it's like, oh fuck, are we supposed to hate this guy? It's like now he's on the other team, and he shows up to play, and it's going to be in the playoffs, and it's like that kid that got kicked off the team and then transfers schools, and oh my god, there he is in the playoffs and in the finals. There's Mikko. That's our buddy. It's
no. See, the Avs fans are smarter than that. Ask a lot of these guys that have left Colorado and are performing well against the Avs in the postseason. They don't get a warm reception again. You might get cheered during player introductions, but that's the last you're going to hear it.
I was going to say it might be player introductions where he gets a cheer, but then they're going to boo him probably once he gets the puck on the ice.
Does he get the Duchesne treatment, or does he just get a?
No, it's not. Nothing's going to be as bad as the Duchesne treatment. That was rough for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And it still is there, but it's not the same. He's probably going to get a semi Tyler Bertuzzi treatment because it's not Todd, and people just see the Bertuzzi and they're kind of unsure if they should boo or not.
No, you should always boo.
That kid wasn't related to him at all. Well,
he was related.
Related, but it wasn't his blood.
Well,
doesn't matter.
With Mikko too, it really depends on who you believe. Do you believe him and his agent that they were blindsided by the trade and that they weren't trying to force their way out? They were just in the process of negotiating and they asked for a lot. Or do you believe the other side of it that was like, we can't do this and we have to move on? And it's how it goes. Because if you believe that Mikko forced his way out, then yeah, you're going to boo his ass. But if you believe that it was more a decision that the team just had to make, and Mikko wasn't really, wasn't trying to force his way out or anything, kind of was blindsided, then you probably don't boo. You probably appreciate Mikko for what he gave. But I mean, if you're a hockey fan, you got to look at the team the way it is and be like, it looks better.
Well, the final part though with that is that he only took, pennies really in salary terms more to go play in Dallas than he was offered here. That's the part where that's the part where I know it's after the Carolina, but
yeah, I think that's him trying to make up.
That's where that ends up. It's not really the Carolina part because the Avs offered it, and then the list came out of I don't know if did you guys see the list of the teams
4 teams that he would play for?
Yeah. I called them too. Everyone except for one. I did not call Toronto, but it was Toronto,
that surprised me.
Dallas, Vegas, and oh damn, why am I missing the other one? I just lost it. I had it in my head.
Oh damn!
I think Minnesota was. I mean, maybe Minnesota. No, I didn't think Minnesota was on there.
I'm just gonna
Vegas,
guess.
Dallas,
Winnipeg?
Toronto, Edmonton.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, but Edmonton didn't have the money.
Yeah, you put Minka in Edmonton. That's horrifying. Yeah, no.
So.
Then I would be
it was
upset.
funny when we were talking about the teams that he would come and play with, all in the Avs division. So you could tell after the trade, the only place he was coming was to play the Avs. Like he's gunning for this team, and he will be for the rest of his career.
Yeah,
until he returns for a ceremonial skate around like EJ.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see if that 96 goes up in the rafters now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
He's like on the edge.
Not before 92 and 29.
Yeah, like an Aerosmith song. He's living on the edge, but it's he's not going to get there.
No.
He's way past Bon Jovi. More than halfway there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, the Broncos made some moves.
Nico's living on a prayer.
The last couple days. Doing a lot of defensive filling. DJ Jones is coming back.
Which is talked about.
Amazing. Yeah.
Colin called it. I'm lukewarm on that one.
A couple 49ers defensemen coming to Denver.
Say it.
Hang on. Huafunga!
Talanoa Huafunga.
Huafunga and Greenlaw.
One of my favorite jokes that I made that was articulated better than me on the Ryan Russillo podcast. So I'm going to steal it from that guy who was on there from The Ringer? He said, "Oh man, Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Huafunga, the 100 snaps those two guys play together is going to be electric. I can't wait." And I was like, "Man, that's like first 3 games are going to be so dope." But seriously, like those are fantastic players, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. And it's safety specifically. Did we lose PJ Locke, or is he still on the roster? Like, did we just add Huafunga?
No, he's
still there. But
dope. That's what I want. So now we have an extra guy. He can play specialty. He can be David Bruton. He hits a little harder than Bruton. Probably not as good in coverage, but whatever.
Well, he's definitely not as good in coverage. We saw that last year.
No, but he's good enough to get minutes, to use other sports terms, and come in there and kind of be that hybrid dude. I was hoping the Broncos might look at the legacy in Jeremy Chin, the nephew of Steve Atwater, to come play a similar role, but already having Locke, bringing in Huafunga, I think that was fantastic. And Greenlaw's a really good middle linebacker. He's great when healthy. We just got to hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah, and I mean, that's been part of the problem with the 49ers defense too, which wasn't really that good last year. So a lot of people are questioning the Broncos' decisions, but these two individually are an upgrade that the Broncos needed defensively.
Well, if Greenlaw doesn't tear his knee up in the Super Bowl before any play happens, really, running out off the sideline, the 49ers probably win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
sure,
that was, you saw the emotion. Like, this is one of those, Greenlaw is one of those guys that is a leader, and you saw all of his teammates just like freeze in their tracks when he went down. And I know like it happens whenever you hear it, but it was an, oh my God, we're screwed. Our guy is gone. It's not like, okay, next man up mentality.
Yeah.
They were done. They had no shot at that point. And I just, when you see that type of respect for a player, I know he's been injured, but one thing that the Broncos can afford now is taking a risk on some of these guys.
Yeah.
If it pays off, awesome. If not, guess what? they have the cap space next year to move on from any contracts. They don't have $32 million hanging over their head. So they're able to make these deals and hope it works out in the long run. The Broncos don't have a punter now, but they have a long snapper.
Good. Love it.
Yeah,
but also, these are not expensive deals, too. So, like, the fact that these guys are coming off of injuries, the Broncos were able to benefit off of that to an extent because they got them for less than they would have if you were getting a first-team All-Pro safety or one of the best middle linebackers in the league. So, obviously, you're hoping that it pays off. But, yeah, I think, like to Colin's point with the salary caps, that's another aspect of it, is they didn't even really have to pay these guys too much. And, yeah, bringing back DJ Jones is cool. We'll have that rotation at defensive tackle. I wanted a big motherfucker, and we talked about that last pod. But we'll take it. He's definitely a quality starter.
Well, Mitchell Triboni, by the way, is the long snapper they brought back.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Jabroni.
I
just want to make sure you got to give linemen some love, man. You got to give linemen some love.
Is he a lineman? I'm pretty sure he's just labeled as a long snapper.
Kind of.
Where's the long snapper positioned?
It's on the line.
On the line.
Yeah.
Well, cornerback is on the line sometimes too.
Yeah, but they're spread out.
Wide receivers
so
on the line
count.
sometimes
but they're
too.
spread out, so that doesn't count. That's why they're wide.
Is a tight end lineman?
I'd say that long snapper is closer to a tight end. But still,
he's usually snapping and then running straight down the field. He ain't blocking anybody.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah,
not with that attitude. No, that's his job. Snap it and run. Go forward, young man.
Stidham comes back as the backup quarterback, and Zach Wilson goes to Miami.
He's gonna play.
That's when I first read that, I thought it was Russell Wilson going to Miami, and I was like, oh, damn. They went with the complete opposite of Tua, the guy that can't throw over the middle. I love this.
They both fumble.
It's
true.
So there's that. Well,
But you're right.
I'm happy for Zach Wilson, to be honest.
I am too.
Like, he came here, he was a pro, and he did a good job. It's just the Broncos had I think he would have been a starter if it wasn't for Bo Nix, he would have definitely beaten out Stidham.
Yes,
Bo Nix did play well in the preseason, but I think Zach Wilson, there were legit rumblings of him starting at times because of his play in the preseason. So he's gonna have a chance to redeem himself, and maybe shed some of that. Maybe he gets the Sam Darnold treatment.
Yeah. Like I said, he had a season to clear his head too. He got to sit here under Peyton, who's apparently the quarterback whisperer anyway. Sit here in Denver, kind of retool himself, get his skills back in order, get the nasty taste of New York out of his system because you can't win as a football player in New York. No offense, New York.
Well, they play in New Jersey.
That's probably the problem too. Identity crisis. What am I, New York, New Jersey? Am I taking the turnpike? What am I doing here?
A lot of people have trouble throwing in New York, don't they, Nick?
No, Judge just couldn't catch.
No, throwing.
We're not going to talk. We're not talking about Tommy John right now.
All right, let's move on to a happy place for Nick. I bring him down to build him up. I build him up.
I knew it was coming.
Nick, I want as we go with anything else on the Broncos, guys?
No, it was just nice to see the Broncos. You can see where their draft plans are starting to really develop now. Yeah. Peyton's got his guys that he's starting to sign in free agency. Now you see what the draft is going to look like, looking for tight ends, looking for running backs. Javonte heads down to Dallas, so it doesn't hurt.
Oh man, good luck Dallas.
It
would have been nice to see Evan Ingram or another offensive player, a receiver or a running back, somebody just plays a role to come in and kind of help, just so that you don't feel like you need all three of those things going into the draft: receiver, running back, tight end. And help, if you sign Evan Ingram and still draft Colson Loveland, that'd be nuts. But that's what I would hope to see. Final Broncos thoughts.
Yeah.
Somebody
Evan Ingram is still.
But we're not done yet.
Evan Ingram is still out there. It's a possibility for the Broncos. They definitely obviously address the defensive side rather than the offensive side. But speaking of offense, Nick,
Ooh,
we got a new team to cheer for in Colorado. It's not the same spring football as the UFL, but tell us about the Colorado Spartans. What happened? What's going on with these guys?
So the Colorado Spartans are the National Arena League football team here in Denver. They just moved down last year from Loveland. They had a chance to make the playoffs last year, but they just missed being in the postseason. This year is their first year here in Denver. They'll be playing at the Coliseum. Go to their website. Tickets are available. We want to pack the Denver Coliseum, show the Spartans and show the NAL what Denver football is all about. Their first game, their opener was Monday night, and they were playing the Wheeling Miners over in Wheeling, West Virginia. And for that first quarter, those two teams were trading blows. I mean, they were just haymaker to haymaker. Quarterbacks were scoring. Aaron Aiken, the quarterback for the Spartans, was just in control of that offense. The defense started stepping it up in the second quarter, which gave the Spartans a 2-score lead that they pretty much held through the rest of the game. There was one fumble in the fourth quarter with a few minutes left that got Wheeling back into it. The score looks closer than what it really was, but offensively, this Spartans team can really dominate. They got some big linemen out there, and that defense is ready to go.
So you're saying the quarterback is wheeling and dealing?
Yeah.
But he plays for Colorado.
Yeah.
So I mean, with that, yeah, because when I saw it, when you just said that they took a 2-score lead and it wasn't close, I know the final was like 49-41 or 42, something like that, right?
Yeah, 49-44, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and so I saw that, and so I guess it was those meaningless touchdowns at the end of the game.
There was a lot of momentum too. A lot of the momentum got lost in that fumble, and so the Wheeling took advantage of it. They got that turnover, marched it down the field, made it a 1-score game. But again, the defense stepped up and kept it that 1-score game. And I mean, the big benefit too is the Spartans had a kicker, so they were able to knock their extra points. I think he got 5 out of 6, and Wheeling didn't have a kicker, so they were going
literally
for 2 points
didn't
every
have
time.
a kicker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were. Going
I didn't know.
You could do that.
I just wanted to make sure that I was right. Well, nobody send myself or my friend Brandon or Joey's video out to Wheeling for their kicker job from when we were in New York, because we were able to attempt a field goal out there, and
cool.
It did not go well. If I had that video pulled up right now, I would show you guys.
If we'd known it was coming up, we'd have had it ready.
That's dope. I'm glad the Spartans got off to a start. Their next game is when?
Saturday, I believe. We'll pull it back up.
Is that their home opener?
No, their home opener is not until April the 12th.
Holy crap! So they're on the road.
Well, they play again Saturday on the road, and then the 29th they'll be on the road again. They have a bye week the 22nd and the 5th, and their opponent is the Las Vegas Kings. Home opener is Saturday, April 12th at 7:00 at the Denver Coliseum.
Saturday, April 12th. Well, I mean, as we look forward to that, obviously, everyone would love you to support Nick, the Spartans, and other football, other leagues around here. It's fun to watch and see our guys succeed. So
indoor football,
definitely excited
about
your call on the 12th.
Yes, I will be on the call.
I was gonna say it doesn't need to be owned by John Elway for people to come along like Crush did. But it's obviously good arena football, and these guys, they were in the hunt last year to get the playoffs, and let's give them some hometown support and push them there, because obviously if they're starting on the road with this many games, there's going to be a string of home games that everyone should have an opportunity to get out.
I believe it's going to be 5 in a row.
Dope.
After the 12th, it'll be 5 games in a row. So definitely get out there to the Coliseum. They got,
you know what?
They got merch and everything.
5 home games in a row sounds a lot like
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kinda winging it.
That's right, everybody. It is the victory formation, our favorite part of making real bets with fake money and keeping track of it to see who's the best of the best by the end of the year. We are a quarter of the way through, and it's a tight race, everybody. It's a tight race. Last week, well, 2 of us went 3-1, and 1 of us went 2-2. How did it all wrap up? Well, it started off with Kansas State at Arizona State. Kansas State comes out victorious. We did not jinx them. Thank you, Joe, for not going the opposite way, because it probably would have gone Joe's way if he had chosen Arizona State. But we all won 13-70 as Kansas State was a huge favorite. Move on to the NHL. Lightning versus the Hurricanes. The Lightning went to Carolina and got whooped 4-1. Hurricanes were still favored -135. They're still a good squad even with their losses. Or the Lightning were just kind of fluky. So I don't know. Me and Nick decided to go with the Lightning, and we couldn't catch it in a bottle. Joe wins 17-41 there.
You ready for
Move on to the NBA. And we had the Bucks versus the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton, baby. Did you guys see this last shot?
No.
Oh. Okay. So
Set it up for
Halliburton
us.
gets okay. Well, there's 1.5 seconds left. The Bucks have the lead by 3. Halliburton gets the or no, it's actually not even 1.5. It's like under a second left. He gets the inbounds pass in the left corner. He takes the ball. He rises up 4-3. It's good, and he's fouled. 4-point play to win the game.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
The Bucks lose to the Pacers on a 4-point play with no time left on the clock.
Damn. Beautiful.
And me and Nick called that perfectly. So 17-69 to both of us, -10 to Joe.
Nice.
Florida State versus Florida. Florida State was a huge favorite at -200, and they got a huge upset because Florida won 7-2, almost where their rankings were, meaning that Nick and I both win 32.50 in that. Joe loses $10. So for the week to this point, Nick or Joe, you were the 2-2, but you won 11-11. Nick and I both won the exact same games and went exactly the same on the week. So we both won 53.89, meaning the new leader in the clubhouse is the Prophet. Over $200, 207.95. Nick, you are at 192.46 in second.
Damn it.
Joe, you're at 189.54. So less than $20 separating all of us as we sit now.
Wait, because wasn't I in first before
the pick?
All that?
You were in first before this week, yes.
Yeah, so I go first to worst. You can't fall that far.
You did fall
in
that
one
far.
week.
You only won $100 when Nick and I won almost 54.
That's what I'm saying. It's $20. That's not that far. You can't fall that much further. So yeah. There can't be that much separating us because I went from first to worst.
The math. So yes, you could fall that. Yes, I got you.
All
right,
let's get
into. I don't know, man. If we think about it, by next Wednesday or Friday, I could be in like third.
Let's not. Let's not. Let's just pick the games and then we'll go over it. First one: Indiana versus Oregon in the second round of the Big 12 tournament. Who you got? Indiana or Oregon, Joe or Nick?
I like Indiana.
Who's your daddy, Joe?
His name's Brett. He's a good dude. Bo Nix went to Oregon. Let's take Oregon. Fuck it. I like Ducks.
I am gonna go Oregon also on this one.
Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Duck on a pond.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can cheer for Indiana. I don't know why. I've never really. I think they've caused me more pain than good. So, we move on to the NBA.
Colin hates
Thursday.
Caitlin Clark. You heard it here first,
do.
folks.
Well, I do have an ex that is from Indiana. We didn't have a bad breakup, but still an ex for a reason.
She's actually pretty cool, but
yeah, things just didn't work out. We wanted different things. What are you gonna say? Kings versus the Warriors, Joe. This is in This is in San Francisco. Who you got? It's in the
I'm picking the Warriors. I don't even care. Kings are like not bad, but they're a regular season darling. The Warriors are built to win, and they were on a crazy streak too since they've got Jimmy. Now watch, because I say that everyone's not going to play for the Warriors, and so they lose this one game because that's how basketball works. But I'm taking the Warriors.
Literally, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say the Warriors have been hot with Jimmy Butler, but that streak has got to end at some point. I believe the Kings are getting Sabonis back if he hasn't been back in this previous game. So give me the Kings against the Warriors. They seem to throw them fits in the regular season. Nick, who you got?
Give me the Kings.
Nick is going with the Kings. All right, we move on to the NHL, and we have the Utah Hockey Club at 28, 25, and 11 visiting the Kraken, 27, 34, and 5. This is obviously a matchup with playoff implications and seeding opportunities. Very surprising team formerly known as the Coyotes that now resides in Utah, playing really good hockey, but they got to go to Seattle, and I'm going to take the Kraken in this one. Nick, who you got?
Releasing the Kraken.
Hockey Club's been surprising. Give me Hockey Club.
Joe, who you got?
Give me the Utes.
All right. Joe is taking a loss.
Joe is taking the University of.
Our final one is college baseball still continues to roll on. Do we go back to the well as we have number 7 Florida against number 2 Tennessee?
Well,
Nick, you're usually the only 10 that I see, but you got to pick this one right to keep that status.
Give me the Vols.
Joe, who you got?
Man,
that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it is. That's why I was sitting there looking at all these games. There's a bunch of great hockey games. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was just gonna sing that song. I honestly could have just kept going while you guys talked. Would have been funny. Yeah, let me take Tennessee. That just seems I need to not let the fact that Nick chose it deter me from choosing the way I feel. I need to follow my heart, fellas.
I'm not gonna jinx it and choose Tennessee, and that is not the reason why I'm choosing Florida. Florida has been one of the most on an unbelievable run as of late. They've been playing such good baseball, and they, like I said, the way they dominated Florida State in a rivalry game. Tennessee's also a rivalry game. Don't get me wrong, but give me Florida because I'm taking, in this instance, I'm taking the team that is hot. Unlike the basketball one. Yeah. Because it fits my narrative, and so that's what I'm going to do. All right? So it's right.
There's no wrong in picking them, that's for sure. That's my story. That's going to be a good matchup. That's going to be a good matchup. Send it off to
space for a Wednesday afternoon delight.
Hope you enjoyed your little brunch with us, ladies and gentlemen. Had a couple mimosas, a little pinky out kind of mimosa. And a baguette.
I thought about that. Like if I had champagne or orange juice, I could have made some mimosas, but I don't have either one.
I just went with an energy drink. So, thank you everybody over E52.
If I had it made, my house would be clean.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Michael Stone, and everybody over E5280sports.com for hosting us. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Yes. Even if it's later after we recorded, because I know it's lunch hour and some of you guys actually have jobs. We have jobs too, but we get kind of lucky sometimes and get to do stupid things like this.
I just work on the weekends, so I'm off today.
There you go. For Colin Zanker, Joe Goodwin, I'm Nick Archuleta. This has been Undrafted Uncensored. Tune in next time when we talk more Deportes de America and Go Sports. We love you. Like, share, love, and everything else.
Bye,
I
everybody.
love you. Bye.
Thank you.
I don't know why I mile high saluted, but it felt